Welcome, creeps, to the Calling All Creeps podcast. My name is Bryce.
And I'm Nathan.
Nathan, what are we going to talk about on this dark, eerie, candlelit, fog-filled evening?
Well, today we're talking about an episode of the animated series The Magic School Bus, which I'm pretty confident needs no introduction, unless you're like 13 years old or something. It's a pretty legendary, well-known show, and this series goes back a long way for me. I remember watching this mostly with my grandma at her house, and she had episodes of this show on VHS tapes, I think, and that was how I got to see them, which makes sense given the fact that it apparently was off the air by like 1997. So I was watching them on tape. And all of my memories of watching this show are at my grandma's house. What's your history with the show?
I really think we just watched it at school, probably.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never owned any Magic School Bus. Didn't have TV, and if it wasn't aired anywhere, yeah, I think we watched it at school. Is my recollection of it, and yeah, watched it as a young boy.
As a young whippersnapper, as a little baby Bryce.
Yeah. So what's this episode called, Nathan?
Shit, that was the one thing that I did not remember.
It's called In the Haunted House.
Yeah, I knew it was something generic like that. They go to a haunted house. It's very, I'll bring this up later too, but it's very like, it reminded me a lot of that Ronald McDonald cartoon. Where it's just like pretty standard. Oh, they go on an adventure and they end up at a haunted house. Just because it's Halloween time.
Yeah, this is a great classic Halloween episode. Again, as all good shows have. And, this is the Magic School Bus, so it's quite different than other ones, but very good.
Yeah, I mean, they make it work here they pretty seamlessly work it into the formula of the show. It doesn't feel too out of left field. It works. So, before we get into the episode, just a little bit of background on the show. The Magic School Bus was actually started out as a book series rather than a cartoon. I've never read any of the books. Have no memory of them as a kid. Didn't even know they existed until literally this week. But I looked at some book covers online to see what they looked like, and yep, pretty much exactly what I would expect them to look like. What's interesting about the books is they seem to go back all the way to 1986, which is crazy to me, since in my head I just think of Magic School Bus as being like quintessentially such a 90s thing. Feels kind of wrong for it to exist in the 80s, but anyway.
Yeah, I remember reading some of these books at the library. I didn't know it started as a book series, but
Interesting. What are the books like? What do you recall about them?
I don't. I don't recall about them. No, I would have been pretty young, but I remember I can see the covers in my head. I remember I spent a lot of time at the library, so I remember flipping through them.
Probably pretty similar, because the books were produced by Scholastic, and then the series was produced by Scholastic. It was the same people are responsible for all of it. It's not like R.L. Stine, where it's a guy wrote the books, and then a company came along and did episode
Distribution.
Yeah, and episodes that are R.L. Stine Goosebumps fan fiction, essentially. The books and the TV series were all produced by the same people in this case. So I would imagine the books are probably just read extended scripts of TV episodes if I were to guess. Not going to go read them, but that's what I would assume. But, I thought that was kind of interesting.
Do you think, I don't know if you know off the top of your head, do you think shows like Bill and I or other educational TV shows you might have seen in school, do you think they were made by the Scholastic or the same people?
I don't know who made them. It seems like during this time period there was just it was just a thing that was being done a lot. The kind of like, ooh, education can be fun, kids. Here's some wacky characters. That was like they were trying that out during this time period.
And I think successful, honestly. I've been watching some Magic School Bus with my kiddos, and it is like the most fun way to learn things.
Perhaps, but
You
like,
could replace school with the Magic School Bus, I swear. If they just, if they just kept making it, I don't know, I assume they have quit making it. I don't know when it ended. Um, but man, you could really, I don't know, the idea of taking an adventure to go learn about the thing is just so much more fun than reading it out of a textbook or sitting in class. And it really engages you with it, and they do a lot of answering and asking a lot of questions and seeing the stuff and exploring it. It's such a there's always that, how do we make learning fun? And I feel like the Magic School Bus nailed it.
yeah, I mean, I can see the concept. I will be honest, I didn't learn jack shit from watching these these things. But, I was also just kind of a dumb kid, maybe. Uh, but I don't think I really ever learned much. Like I treated Bill Nye like entertainment, you know. Uh,
Which he is.
yeah, well, yes, but like it's attempting to be educational kids entertainment, which I always felt, even as a kid, that it was more the educational side of it was more to appease the parents than it was about like we're actually going to teach kids stuff about science that they're going to retain and find useful in life. You know, it's
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're retaining it, but I think it at least piques your interest in it. Like
that's a good point.
if you were shown this and someone was showing you this as educational material, and then if you were made to watch an episode a few different times to get some repetition in, maybe do some like quizzes about it or something, or go out and like do some of the activities in the episode yourself and then move on to something at a higher level. I feel like that would work. I feel like this definitely gets your interest peaked or makes whatever the learning subject interesting. Like I would never be interested in learning about the human body or something, but when Miss Frizzle takes you on a fucking Magic School Bus ride into the human body, all right, oh, that's kind of fucking cool.
Well, that's a good point because man, that I remember that episode probably more vividly than any of the others.
Oh yeah.
So fair point. I did retain something from that. That's where I learned about white blood cells and red blood cells. I cannot tell you. I could not define these things if you were to ask me, but that's where I learned that there were such things. So, point taken, point taken. So, yeah, so the cartoon series started airing in 1994 and was produced by Scholastic. I remember that company from my childhood because I seem to recall there being like Scholastic books, Scholastic book fairs, things like that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, man, you get the little this you get the little like catalogs, and yeah, you get to go to the book fair inside the school. It's like my most look forward to thing in school. I loved flipping through the book catalogs, ordering books, or hoping to order, wanting to order books at least, and going to the school, and if you could get something super awesome. And then, yeah, you associate some of these things with it, like Goosebumps.
Yeah, it's a company that seemed to specialize in kids' edutainment, that kind of stuff. So, but I had no idea that there was a spooky episode of this show until you told me about it. I don't even remember anything about this episode from when I was a kid. So,
Me neither. We just were watching some episodes, and it came on, and I was like, oh shit, a spooky episode.
okay.
Yeah, I brought it up, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, I remember because like somehow it came up in conversation. This show, this TV series, and I was even like, man, It would be nice if there was a spooky episode of this that gave us some excuse to talk about it, because I did not think for a second that there would be. Just doesn't seem like the kind of show that would do like I don't like a gimmicky thing like that. Like, oh, here's a Halloween episode, but they did. So here we are indeed. So, with that being said, we can go ahead and dig into the episode a little bit.
Before we dig into the episode, Nathan, I had one thing I needed to tell you.
I'm pregnant.
You've just lost the game.
What was the game?
What? The game.
What game?
So I guess this week I found out some people don't know what the game is. I assume you just haven't met people or something. The game is
What
you
the?
lose when you think about the game. And so then you would proceed to remind someone else of the game. And then now that I've said the game to you and you've thought of it, now you've lost it. You've lost the game.
That sounds like some schoolyard nonsense right
It
there.
is, it is, and last week I lost the game. Someone reminded me of the game, and so I went around to a bunch of my coworkers and had to make them all lose. And only one person out of everyone I talked to knew what I was talking about, and I was pretty surprised because it seemed pretty widespread in school and on the internet. And here you are not knowing. So maybe this is your first time losing the game. Welcome to it. Now every time you think of it, you lose.
Oh, okay. Well, buddy, I got a game for you right here in my pants, and it's called the synopsis of this episode. So the episode begins with the students practicing for some sort of event, a musical concerto or something like that involving multiple schools. Carlos has fashioned an instrument out of a bike wheel looking thing and some other bullshit, and to no surprise, it sounds exactly like what it is, a bunch of bullshit. Miss Frizzle makes her grand appearance, whimsical as always, playing what looks like a drum, a pan flute, and some hand cymbals. Dorothy Ann immediately starts complaining about how much they suck because of Carlos and his bullshit instrument. Miss Frizzle ushers the kids into the school bus, and they take off. She seems to have a plan.
Have you ever made your own instrument?
You know, as a kid, I remember trying stuff like this, yeah. I think I tried to make a tambourine out of like a trash can lid or something. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Have you?
Man, I feel like vaguely maybe, but I don't recall if I ever actually did. But it was something I was reading recently about kids. Like, well, here's like an activity to do with kids. Make an instrument. And I was like, make an instrument. Like, what? Now in my head, I was like, that sounds ridiculously difficult. Instruments are like meticulously made by professionals. And then I watched this episode and I thought, God damn, we can make our own instruments.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a good instrument. Not at all.
Now,
No,
do you
sir.
keep up on new instruments?
To be honest, I kind of lack the imagination and the curiosity to do such a thing. I kind of like the ones we already got. What can I say?
Yeah, they do like conventions and awards and stuff like that for people doing new inventive instruments. Well, I like to check up on them every year or two and see what neat new instruments people are coming up with. There are some crazy ones out there. You should look it up. Look up like new inventive instruments, and there are some people out there making some outrageous instruments that I would like to have.
We could even fashion our own, very own Calling All Creeps
We
instrument.
should. We should. That can be our next project.
So, on the way to the Sound Museum, the kids are lamenting the fact that they don't have more time. Miss Frizzle's earrings start glowing, which is what happens when she gets an idea, I guess, and she presses a button, and the bus starts contorting into different shapes and doing all kinds of whimsical shit. They end up stranded with an overheated bus that won't run, and apparently now they have to pull it down the road by hand.
Do you remember doing that?
Happened all the time, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day, I was always having to push a car or pull a car, and it doesn't happen that often anymore. Still does sometimes, but very rarely. But I feel like as a kid, I was That was like a regular thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think that kids were just expected to do more stuff back in the day, have a little more stiff upper lip, something like that. So yeah, so it gets dark. They're in the woods or something like that. Carlos, meanwhile, is still working on his terrible instrument and seems to be making it worse, if anything. The whole class is completely stranded. Day turns to night, and they gotta be like officially missing persons by now. At this point, they come upon a spooky fucking house. This whole scenario very much reminds me of that cursed Ronald McDonald episode with the haunted house. So the class, led by Miss Frizzle, enters the gates, and we are treated to all kinds of classic spooky imagery. An eerie sound emerges from the house when Miss Frizzle rings the doorbell, and Carlos is suddenly inspired. The front door opens and they enter the house. So the class goes around apparently searching for the source of the sound. Miss Frizzle points out a portrait, which, as she explains, depicts the owner of the house, Professor Cornelius C. Contralto, collector of sounds. She's from the 1800s or some shit. Contralto is said to have mysteriously disappeared, after which they turned her house into the Sound Museum. They've been right where they should be the whole time. Now, Bryce, I know you're a big connoisseur of haunted houses and other such things. How does this one rate for you?
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Damn, only a 4, huh? Below average.
It's again, I appreciate the episode. I love these. I love this episode, but yeah, it's not particularly spooky. I mean, they've got a gargoyle and weird sound effects, and you got a portrait with his eyes moving of an old lady who disappeared. That's all pretty good. Maybe I'll bump it up to a 5 out of 10.
No, I think this haunted house fucks. I think it fucks and it sucks in a good way. So, but that's just me. So, they slip through some kind of secret passageway and find a bunch of beds, freshly made, seemingly just for them. They get into bed, and I guess they all just accept that they're going to stay the night here. Carlos is hoping for a solution to his terrible instrument, and that's when things start to get spooky. An eerie, ghostly sound rings out through the house, and the kids go off in search of it.
Dun dun dun.
Some actually fairly decent atmosphere in this episode with the spooky sound design and stuff. Like, whoever edited the sound and did the soundtrack for this show is actually quite good at their job.
Can you imagine hiring the guy bad at sound to do the sound episode?
That would be something else.
That would be something else. Do you think something like this? I should have looked it up. I could look it up right now. Do you think there's a sound museum out there?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some iteration of that. Some kind of something like that. For this episode, I'm sure they probably just made everything up for this script. But I bet there is. I bet you there probably is.
I love how Carlos he hears the sound he's interested in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever heard a sound that like just pinged your interest that much that you've just gone to great lengths to also recreate it?
Sort of. I mean, I used to go around years and years ago. I used to go around with like a recorder to just capture sounds from nature, and then I would take it home and try to like build songs around it. Like I went through a phase where I was really into avant-garde stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like lowercase and space and just general noise. Yeah, no, that's great. I'd like to get back into that field recording kind of stuff, and make more sound, sort of soundscapes. Not like YouTube soundscapes, but a type of soundscapes, type of lowercase, type of noise. But yeah, no, there have been certain sounds I've heard that I've gone to great lengths to try to recreate.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like just things around the house that can sound really, really good that I've used on stuff instead of the actual instrument itself. like still to this day, whenever I need a shaker, I have a like a water filter that I use, and it's the perfect sound. I've got tons of different shakers, and they're all fine, but this water filter uh, is like the best shaker I've ever heard.
October Society sound, abstract sound album incoming.
I'm not giving away too much, but you're not far off.
Oh, wow. Wowie. Okay.
There are sound museums. Oh boy, there's the Audium, the Museum of Portable Sound, the Kill Pitch or Klipsch Museum of Audio History, the Museum of Endangered Sounds. There are some sound museums out there. That would be super neat. If you've been to one, let us know how they are.
Indeed, indeed. So, back to the episode. The kids are like sneaking around inside this house, this spooky house, and they come upon some kind of like outdoor, indoor fake mountain. It's weird. Miss Frizzle meets up with them and takes them into a room full of giant instruments. We get some educational facts about sounds and vibrations. Carlos realizes that the sound he's been hearing is a result of vibration. Also, the Chinese character is shown banging a giant gong because it's an old cartoon. And these things happen. So, moving on from that, the class finds a stage where Miss Frizzle provides the kids with goggles that allow them to actually see sound waves. Pretty cool stuff. I wonder if this is like a thing, like an actual thing.
I don't know if glasses, but I did have to wonder if this is similar at all to synesthesia, I believe it's called, where you see sounds like it's like a symptom, or I don't know if it's a disease. That sounds wrong, but it's you've heard of synesthesia, right?
I've heard of something like that, that like you don't actually see sounds, but you sort of visualize sounds and associate them with different colors in your
Yeah.
mind. Like Mozart was said to have had
Yeah,
that.
I've never looked that much into it, but it sounds possibly like the neatest thing in the world. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I'm not sure how easy it would be for someone to describe. Maybe it is. But that's the first thing I thought of. But man, seeing sound waves. I don't. That's a good question. If they make glasses that could do that, I don't know on what sort of level sound waves operate. Like, do you need a microscope, or is it a light refraction thing? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I guess you probably can't. They just like the purpose of it was just to demonstrate the concept of sound waves being vibrations, I guess. So like, they're messing around with these sound goggles and demonstrating how sound works. And because of this, Carlos is inspired. He goes to get his instrument from his bed and he finds that it's missing. Thank God, personally. The kids hear that eerie sound again, and Carlos falls into a dungeon of some kind. And Miss Fritzl then leads the other kids down after him, and Arnold is being a scared little bitch as always.
As always.
I've not even mentioned Arnold so far, but he's like one of the main characters. As a little kid, I always thought he was just an annoying little shit.
You don't associate with him?
Identify with him, you mean?
Identify. Yeah.
No, I guess that's a fair comparison because he's like an.
I didn't compare you to him.
Oh, well, you asked me if I identify with him.
Yeah, sometimes you pick the loseriest loser of a TV show and you say, that guy, that's like me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It pondered my mind because, yeah, usually he's a little more upfront on his whininess, and he didn't have a ton of shining moments in this episode. But when he did, it was a question I asked myself. I thought, I wonder if this is the guy Nathan's going to identify
I
with.
feel like Arnold is just a little too like squeaky clean, straight down the middle. Like I'm a nerd, so I do identify with nerd characters, but I'm like a fucked up nerd. you know? Like, it needs to be, the character needs to be a bit more like, something has to be wrong, you know?
Agreed.
So, anywho, they come to a door where the sound is coming from and push through it, and there they find an old woman playing an organ who introduces herself as the great granddaughter of the missing professor.
See, this is where they messed up. This should have been the original missing professor who's been locked away in some hidden room inside of her own sound museum working on the perfect sound. And she could have been dead or a ghost or exceedingly old or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think they wanted to play around a little bit with the like, oh, are ghosts real or aren't they? Kind of ambiguity.
Yeah. Yep. And then again, that's not the point of the episode. The point of the episode is to teach you about sound. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of a. You ever watch Boris Karloff's TV show that's called something?
To be honest, I've only ever seen him in the Frankenstein movies because I just like refuse to see him as anything other than Frankenstein's monster.
You haven't even seen The Mummy?
I haven't even seen The Mummy, which is
Oh
crazy.
my god.
Because, like, when I was a kid, I used to watch all those movies, but I didn't see The Mummy. Because, like, I liked the Brendan Fraser Mummy, you feel? So, like, I didn't want to, like, see a different version of it. And I didn't want to see Boris Karloff not be Frankenstein's monster.
Honestly, as much as I do like The Mummy, some of the later Mummy movies are better, like The Mummy's Curse, stuff like that. But yeah, honestly, it is pretty lackluster. I think I'd seen a lot of other really cool mummy media before I ever saw Boris Karloff's The Mummy, and yeah, it's he's not like a mummy most of the time, so it's kind of lame. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. No shade to Boris Karloff, but
Something in my gut told me that it would be boring compared to some of the others, compared to the Frankenstein movies. And I guess I just didn't want to break the immersion, all right? Because he just nails the Frankenstein character so well. So
he does. He does a lot of great stuff. There's a Boris Karloff thing we'll do really soon. But yeah, he had a TV show in the 60s called Thriller. And there's an episode in there that also has a spooky old house. And then they open it up and there's some old lady inside. And that was the first thing I thought of when she came in there playing the organ. But the Boris Karloff one is way spookier. Jesus.
yeah. So speaking of the old lady, she greets the kids and pulls out Carlos's bullshit instrument that she kidnapped. And because he's learned about vibrations, Carlos now removes some of the bullshit from his instrument and to make the vibrations more pure or something like that. And with
Well, to allow it to vibrate more, I think he's got too much stuff on there for looks that's dampening its ability to
yeah,
vibrate.
lots of unnecessary looking stuff. So yeah,
Oh, it looked neat. It looked neat. I'll tell you that. It looked like some sort of Greek thing. It's like
one of
something
those, yeah,
Hermes would fly
one of those
around
Greek
with.
things.
Yeah.
So with his newly improved instrument, free of bullshit, Carlos accompanies the other kids to the concerto event, and they totally smash it. Standing ovation, and there's, you know, the granddaughter of the inventor comes out on stage and shares the victory with them. And that's pretty much that. The episode has made its point, and it fucks off. And
Yeah. She takes the instrument to put it into her museum
yeah,
also.
that is true. She's like, wow, this is so amazing. This is such an accomplishment. I'm going to put it in my museum.
Yeah. And then her and Miss Frizzle jam out.
Yes, they do. Miss Frizzle is a very whimsical motherfucker.
That's two.
I believe that's three, actually.
Well, I'm really hoping someone else out there is doing the due diligence of counting.
Yeah, we need a fan edit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So there's also a sort of epilogue scene where the ghost of the professor is answering a phone call from some kid who's asking science questions about sound. Kind of fun. It's You know, I thought it was cool how the ghost was holding a old landline telephone with like a cord attached to it.
Oh, yes, those old landlines with cords attached to them. Nathan, you've just done my least favorite not super young person thing. You ever talk to people that are like your age or a little older and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, and so I did this. Now keep in mind, the internet didn't exist back then. I had to do this manually." And I'm just like, "Yeah, no shit, motherfucker." Like it's some big deal. Like someone has to use a landline or write a letter or something. Oh, that kills me.
Well, I haven't seen one of those things in person in a very long time, so I just thought when I saw that I was like, "Oh, that makes me feel kind of warm and fuzzy, I guess."
No, it's good actually. I've been wanting a landline for years, but it's just pricey and
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like to have a phone and then have another, like the landline phone is like really expensive to have, at least for me. Um, and then you have to like hand out your phone number and hope to God anyone ever calls you, because man, most people don't like calling these days. I'm a caller. I'm like, you'll someone will text me and I'll get back to them in like 5 to 10 business months. But if you call me, I'll get you right then and there, and I'll talk to you for an hour or something and catch up, and it's good. Uh, but a lot of people, yeah, refuse to call. Like they won't even answer the phone when I call them. Or so if I got a landline, I'd be pulling teeth. I'd have to like give someone a separate number and hope they choose the separate number or something to call probably, and then I would just be paying for this thing that no one would ever call me on. Uh, but I did look at a landline designed phone thing. It's like but it's Bluetooth, and so when someone does call you, it Bluetooths to the phone. You can just throw your phone into the fucking ocean and pick up the landline phone and use it because it's Bluetoothed. And I just got one ordered one of those today. So I don't know, whimsical maybe,
It is. It's
nostalgic,
whimsical, if
awesome.
maybe a little bit impractical and unnecessary. But I appreciate the aesthetics. We're all about aesthetics around here.
But hey, real ghost the epilogue here, and I love how snarky that kid is.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, what does she say? She's just like, ghosts
Wh-
aren't fucking real.
He's like, well, if sounds do this, then why do they do this or something? Yeah, just it's such a fun tone in her voice.
So this, brings me to the $10,000 question, which is, what did you think of this? It seems like you enjoyed it somewhat, although it doesn't seem like you're glowing with overwhelming enthusiasm for this. What are your feelings about it?
My rating and my feelings.
Overall feelings first, and then we'll put a number on it.
Overall feelings is great. I love this show. I love a haunted. I was so glad you picked this because I thought, what a perfect episode for you and I. A show that's about music, instruments, sound, and has a haunted house, and a bunch of haunted house stuff that goes with it, and a musical concert in there, and then it's got a ghost with a landline with a cord.
Yes, it does.
Did you know landlines had cords?
A lot of people who aren't super old might not know that, Bryce. So it is a relevant thing to bring up.
Yeah, so I just thought all of that stuff. Plus, I mean, does this question get answered in the episode? Because so they're on their way to perform this contest, this musical contest with an invented instrument, and little dude hasn't got his instrument right yet, and they're headed there. She makes the car break down, so they have to push it to this haunted house, which they later find out is the sound museum. But it's nighttime already, and they say, diggity darn, we missed it. And then I guess I missed something to where they didn't miss it because then they're performing there, and so I think did she time travel them?
See, that's what I thought at first, but no, what they were headed to was the rehearsal. They were going to the Sound Museum to rehearse. So she made it to where they would miss the rehearsal so they wouldn't feel too much pressure from that. So that they could have time to just like wander around and do whatever in the museum and learn about sound. And then the next day, or however much later, would be the actual performance. I would assume.
Okay, okay. Well, okay. Well, I was hoping there was a little bit of time travel in there too. But anyways, yeah, that's my overall impression. You got ghost, haunted house, and sound and music. I thought, I mean, what a perfect episode. And again, it made sound and learning about it really fun, really easy to understand. So those are my overall impressions. I was like, this is a great episode. Feels made for us.
Yeah, I like it too. It's cool. It's fun. It's nostalgic. I'm not, it's not like amazing or anything, but I'm glad I saw it. Never saw this episode. It was really cool to revisit this thing because it's just been quite a long ass time since I have seen any of this show. So,
Are you going to continue to watch any more Magic School Bus, or is this it?
I don't really see why I would. Maybe just like, I don't know. Like, I get it. It was fun to revisit, but like, I'm not, it's just not the kind of thing where I'm gonna like sit there with a bowl of popcorn and like sincerely watch this show. It's just very, I'm an old man.
You should. No, no, you're stupid. You should learn some stuff. Nah, I'm kidding. Nathan's a very, very intelligent man.
I'm creative. That doesn't mean I'm intelligent. What I am is I'm a dumb guy who can do some cool things with instruments. But, I probably could learn some more about science.
I used to really, really liken to an intellectual side. I was kind of a straight A kid who just like read a lot of books and stuff. And then I watched that '70s show, and I thought Kelso was having way more fun than everybody else. And I've just gotten dumber and had more fun ever since, I think. And I'm as dumb as ever.
That's the ticket, lad. So,
Yeah, that is the ticket. Life is lame. Be dumb. It's
we've got good messaging here on this podcast. So, let us do the needful, which is always difficult, and that's putting a figure, a number of disembodied human skulls on this thing. What would you give this, Bryce?
I'm going to give this episode 6 out of 10 disembodied human
Oh,
skulls.
wow. You know what's crazy? That's mine.
No
We
shit.
got a first.
Oh wow. We almost did this once, but now we have actually come to an equal rating. Okay, yeah, 6 out of 10 disembodied human skulls. It's it's better than average, because of the content. But it's
Yeah,
fine.
I think there's very much a general vibe in the air right now of us both being kind of like, yeah, yeah, it's fine, it's pretty good. What can I say?
What about that theme song?
Oh man, only literally just today did I find out that Little Richard did the freaking theme.
What Little Richard did?
Yes, Little Richard did. That's crazy. Little Richard.
That's that's fucking
Because I
awesome.
don't even, to be honest, man, I couldn't even hum it for you. So I remember the beep beep, like the horn sound effect on the guitar, which I didn't know
Yeah.
was a guitar until today, when I listened back. but that's the only thing I remember about it. Otherwise,
Wow.
the music, the soundtrack music is pretty nice and atmospheric. But it's like just very stereotypical 90s cartoon, like exactly what you would expect it to sound like. Otherwise, yeah, I'm feeling like this thing is just about above average. Wouldn't go back and see it again necessarily.
Yeah, honestly, when I had watched it the first time, I know you would wanted to watch it again, and I was like, oh yeah, I could do that, I guess. And yeah, I wasn't drastically looking forward to rewatching it for this episode, but I did. Uh, but I mean, again, in theory, it's really fun, and I don't think it's badly done either.
I think it's a solid episode. I mean, it's about as good as you could expect it to be. Maybe I'm just not like super crazy about the show like I was as a.
It's not an exciting episode.
It's not. It makes me wonder: is the rest of the show even that exciting? I mean, like the premise of this episode is somewhat interesting. You know,
I mean, some of them, when they go back in time, the dinosaurs are going to the human body, and
that one did come to mind.
even I like some of the the nature ones. They shrink down and stuff. And yeah, again, you kind of I don't know. Is a decent subject, but yeah, nothing really like exciting or necessarily, but good, 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 good.
All right, well,
Do you
we
have any more on it?
I don't think so. I think that we're kind of grasping at straws at this point. This episode was exactly fine. It was just fine. It doesn't inspire a tremendous amount of pontification. I did find it very whimsical, and it was nice to see old Miss Frizzle again.
Oh yeah.
Um,
There
s-
was a cool gargoyle inside the house. I think he was wearing sunglasses.
I
That was pretty
knew
rad.
I knew you were gonna mention the gargoyle. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I've got gargoyles. I want more gargoyles. Maybe someday we'll do the Gargoyles TV show. Do you ever watch that?
No, I've heard you talk about it though.
The Gargoyles TV show?
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually seen it. I'm kind of barely aware of its existence somehow, just through some sort of cultural osmosis.
No, yeah, same. I never watched it growing up. Just kind of like I saw photos and ads and commercials and stuff about it all the time, but I never got to actually watch any of it. And I've been watching it this year, though, or last year. Wow, I can't believe we're fucking June already.
Yeah.
I've been watching it sometime recently. It's pretty good.
Oh, well, in that event, Bryce, I think that that pretty much wraps this up. Would you like to say the magic words? Unless you have any announcements to make.
Well, no, I'd like to ask how your week has been, man. We usually do a little talky talk at the beginning, and we kind of hopped right in. How you been this last week?
Busy, just like busy and tired and trying to do all kinds of different things. Work's been kicking my ass. Um, And I'm trying to really, I'm in this phase right now where I'm really trying to take the Sleep Demons thing seriously and pump out a bunch of new stuff on that front. And also producing your album, of which 3 of the tracks are already good to go. So,
Four, I
for
think. Four of them.
Theme for a Bat, Boogeyman Boogie, Monster House. Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
4
and I want to
tracks
grow up
in.
to be a ghost.
That's been going actually a lot more smoothly than I expected. I thought it was going to be more complicated.
Now, I was hoping the bulk of it was pretty well done. I was hoping it was just adding drums.
What's interesting is your direction typically tends to be a simplification. Like I'll send you stuff, and most of your direction has to do with taking things out rather than, hey, add a bunch of stuff like this. It's usually just like, yeah, make it more, you know,
Plain.
it's Ramones. It's like I started after the second or third song, I started to understand like, oh, he just wants Ramones songs basically.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I'm I'm a Ramones fan. Yeah, I've had to, part ways with many a drummer who wanted to come in and be overly complex, and I go, I don't think you understand. There's not. And while I'm personally am a fan of complex percussion, I'm not a fan of complex guitar. I am a fan of relatively complex bass, but when it comes to percussion, I am a fan of really complex percussion. But I think it's got a time and place, and in these songs, not really.
Not in this band. And then
Not a
he'll
yeah.
slap you with his glove hand.
Yeah.
Remove his glove and slap you across the face and say, "Not in this band."
Challenge you to a duel.
Yes. So yeah, the Calling All Creeps album is shaping up nicely.
But yeah, so yeah, I know we've been busy working away, working away. Uh, Man, I got a bunch of cool stuff for the kids this past week too. Our backyard, having a backyard's been really nice, uh, and it's becoming a very fun and comfortable place to be. I got like a gazebo and a bunch of playhouses and equipment and like a little kiddie pool and some stuff like that. And so now like it's just a bunch of fun stuff to do out there. Getting a water table this week, building a mud kitchen, building raised beds for gardening and shit.
Mm.
Uh,
Family Man Bryce.
yeah, I know. Do you remember? Remember the old days?
A little bit. I was drunk and high most of the time, but vaguely.
I've never done any of those things.
Never once. I've never seen you consume any illicit substances ever.
Nope. But yeah, no, it's a lot different than yeah, being a dad. But being a dad's really fun. But wow. Okay, well we've really rambled on here.
Oh yeah,
But
most of this is getting cut out. I'll just keep like the interesting stuff.
okay, yeah. I saw the time and I was like, how do we fill an hour? And so
Hey, you
uh
know what? Like some episodes can be longer than others, and that's not the end of the world. I'm
oh
sure.
yeah, that'd be shorter. I knew it was gonna be shorter than others. I know you cut a lot out sometimes. So when I saw we were hitting like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and I was like, yo, man, he cuts a lot of shit out. It's gonna get real small, real fast. So I was like, all
Yeah,
right, that's so. But yeah, I always think you're like, oh, I've got to spend all this time editing it. I'm just like, you just line them up and slap the theme song on it.
if I did that, it would be a much worse show. Trust me on that. It would
All
be
right, I'll trust you on
it
it.
would be really annoying. Uh, I like having conversations with the two of us. Third separate person isn't necessarily going to like listening to us have a conversation unless it's nice and tight and clean.
Well, I don't know. Most people listen to pot. Not that I do, but I think the general consensus is most people like listening to podcasts specifically for like the very inane human banter between podcasters, and just kind of like feeling like you're sitting there listening to some buddies talk who are your buddies. And like a lot of people I know don't even listen. Like I'm like an educational podcast listener. Like I listen to a podcast because I'm like learning something usually. I'm like, oh, a history podcast or like a podcast about a conspiracy theory I'd like to know more about, or something like that. Usually, I like all the paranormal cryptid stuff too. But usually, again, I'm kind of consuming like location and images and descriptions and stuff like that. But some people just listen to podcasts that just, but like my wife listens to podcasts where there's nothing important being said. It's just dudes like bullshitting for an hour. And she's like, that's the best kind of podcast. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best podcasters kind of create the illusion of that. It just like you know I would suspect that those podcasts do more editing than you realize.
Oh, not that they don't do more editing. It's just that they leave a lot of non-subject based casual talk in, and that seems to be the stuff that interests people.
All right, well, as having said all that, why don't you go ahead and say the magic words and take us on out?
Holy shit. All right. You have just been on a magic school bus ride. It's night, and the haunted house door creaks and slams shut. Until next time, bad dreams.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Angel in my eyes, could you be the one to silence all the voices in my head? Wait, hold up, never mind. I prefer to love the shadow demon standing at my bed. She keeps me haunted in the morning. She is the demon in my soul. She is the one that makes me whole, and you can tell me she's not real. I wanna kiss my paralysis demon. She's the only one who understands me, knows me. I wanna kiss my paralysis demon. She's the one I'm needing in my bed tonight. I bet you wish you had one too. I bet you wish you had one too. Apple in my eyes, you know I love the way you crush my chest and never let me breathe. Shadow in my night, won't you objectify, electrify the fear inside of me? Keep me haunted in the morning. Keep me haunted when the voices start their screeching, getting louder, and tonight I'll close my eyes. I wanna kiss my paralysis demon. She's the only one who understands me, knows me. I wanna kiss my paralysis demon. She's the one I'm needing in my bed tonight. I bet you wish you had one too. I bet you wish you had one too. I bet you wish you had one too. I bet you wish you had one too.